Kingdom Hearts is a popular RPG franchise, made in collaboration with Disney, and something you'd see during a fever dream. It did well because...
Did somebody mention the door to darkness?
Actually, I have no idea why, but I'm glad it did. It's a Final Fantasy and Disney crossover, unless you're playing cage-free. But the series always manages to make up for its shortcomings, with fun gameplay, Disney charm, and existential dread. Speaking of dread, the reception towards Chain of Memories is one I find especially unfair, so let's talk about it.
Like a butterfly.
But first, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, so here's some Part 1. Nomura lore. Kingdom Hearts is a PS2 game from 2002. It did fairly well and was a beloved classic for the console, combining Disney magic with the conventions of the FF games. With direction credit to the character designer Tetsuya Nomura, we swear he was not high when he wrote this. It was a genuinely good RPG, with fun action and exploration, secret bosses, and re-release of the game in Japan called Final Mix, with a secret cutscene showing this kid with 2 keyblades. It was a great game, where you go from beating up children to controlling space and time with your friends Donald and Goofy, trademark. Also, the commercials are the funniest thing ever.
Nice! Give me the cheat codes. Oh no, someone's coming. I'm out of here.
But we knew that something just had to be next for the series. That, or Tetsuya just really likes to make people cry. So 3 years later, we got KH2 released for the PS2 in 2005. And this game was even better. If you ignore the stories, they don't do anything. It had special forms, new characters, puzzles, Chicken Little, but also it opens with this guy and memory restoration and name mine. And for the first 3 hours, you have no idea what's going on, and oh look, Mulan. That's because, in truth, this isn't KH2, this is KH3. But also not really, because that game wouldn't come out for another 14 years. But in all honesty, KH3 is more like KH23.2, but people had no idea what was going on, and I still don't after 19 years. Part 2. The Game Boy Advance one. So if you have questions about Kingdom Hearts, the answers lie in a Kingdom Hearts game for the Game Boy Advance. Because obviously I want to be seen playing this thing in public. Chain of Memories released in 2004 for the Game Boy Advance, and is the actual sequel to KH1, with info crucial to the plot of KH2. People were confused by this. Calm seemed more like a spin-off than anything else, and KH2 was only 1 year away, so I assume that most fans just didn't bother even picking it up, without realizing that this GBA game was a sequel they were waiting for 3 years. And I don't blame them. Home was made for the GBA, a system that PS2 owners may not have even owned, considering it's only, you know, the best-selling console of all time. But hey, at the very least, we got a 3D remaster on the PS2 eventually. And by eventually, I mean 3 years after KH2 already came out. All this is to say, if you're a newcomer to the series, I'm sorry. But none of that matters anymore, because now we have every game on the series on PS4. If you ignore that one. It's even on the Switch, goddammit. So now, finally, we can play Chain of Memories. So now, finally, we can look at the cutscenes on YouTube and play KH2. Part 3. People do not like the Game Boy Advance one. So I haven't really discussed how this game plays yet. So here we go. The astute observer who hasn't just been listening to my video while playing Minecraft, Daniel, would notice something about this game's HUD. In this game, you use cards to heal, attack, cast spells, and everything else. And if your card is blocked, you'll be stunned, which leaves you open to an attack yourself. You also have a limited number of cards before you need to reload, which involves not being able to move at all, which leads to many fun scenarios like this one, and my brain hurt. I'm gonna play a different RPG. I'm gonna get a different hobby. Don't get me wrong, if you want to get into Chain of Memories and witness the murder montage,
I don't want it. Goodbye.
you have to put the work in. And con requires some very careful decision making, on top of all the combat the game still expects of you. Right off the bat, this seems like a lot, especially since this is a console that you couldn't see on half the time. As a result, this game is often ridiculed for being slow and janky, but honestly, it's just Kingdom Hearts, combined with blackjack and the power of darkness. What's not to love? It looks daunting, but when you get into it, editing a perfect deck, blocking enemy cards, and learning your abilities makes you feel like an overpowered clown shoe wearing being of mass destruction. The more I played, the more I really started to get a kick out of a card system. Maybe I developed Stockholm Syndrome for this game, but let's not worry about that. For me, this game's winning mechanic is the slights? Whatever, I'm gonna call them slots when nobody's happy. You can add up to 3 cards to combine their values, letting you dish out Blizzaga, Sonic Blade, Kiraga, and the win button. This game isn't nearly as hard as people make it out to be. It's just hard to learn and easy to master, if that makes sense. But my favorite thing about this game's But my favorite thing about the gameplay is that Sora actually feels like he's gotten stronger from the first game. Like, I know he fought this thing in the first game, but if I saw a 14-year-old pull out this move, I'd be on the floor crying. He was so powerful it made me want to keep it myself, so I went and bought myself one. My videos get 10 of 10s very often, but as we all know, the real gameplay of Kingdom Hearts was the murders we committed along the way. So let's get into that riveting story. Part 4. Kingdom Hearts lore. So this game kicks off right after KH1. Riku and Mickey are on the other side of Kingdom Hearts. Yes, that's a real thing. That's not just like 2 words that are just put together because they put us down in court. Oh, also Kairi's gone. So Sora's kind of back to square one, with nothing to show for his efforts except for enough money to buy a small European country. Also, he like has a ship that was built by literal chipmunks, so that's kind of cool. Now we're at Castle Oblivion and I'm greeted by this cool hoodie guy.
That Keyblade does have an eye in it. My eye, to be exact. Ew! Oh, you think that's gross?
Anyway, Donald and Goofy got banished to the Shadow Realm, and you can only bring them back by using friend cards. This card works if you have friends. Aw, this game is pretty different. Instead of a fun adventure
In a whole new galaxy?
you're confined to one harshly lit castle. But don't worry, at least you have Donald Duck and an organization conspiring to make you their puppet. So that's fun. I'm not here to make a video on how calm is strictly a horror game or whatever, but this whole game is just the gang being screwed over and murdered, and that's fun. Part 5. The murders we committed along the way. So now when I take Sora to this thing, we get to see his weird Minecraft fingers, and he goes to eat with Dylan and Goofball to get him ready for being a beautiful pubescent boy, so he can Oh no. I highly recommend at least understanding the plot of Calm before you go into KH2. That opening is oh yeah, Riku has a campaign too, where he learns to overcome Ansem's influence, do a sassy finger wag when he levels up, and even use his own darkness to his advantage. Riku is cool because he's such good friends with the darkness that he has matching pajamas with them. They look really comfy. I want some. It's not some David Cage profound work of art, but it's a nice little message to wrap up what is probably the hardest game in the series. I haven't played V-Cast though, so that might be the precursor to Elden Ring, I don't know. Donald does look like a Bloodborne boss in that game, so maybe. Part 6. Kingdom Hearts is special. Kingdom Hearts is something I find really special. I was a weird child, and pretty much still am, but the Kingdom Hearts franchise was always there to make me feel a little less anxious about life, and I think every game in this series has something wholly unique to offer. From the branching stories of Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop, to the incredible visuals and music of KH3, to the deck-building action of Chain of Memories. The story is a lot to handle at times, but that might be the best part of this series. There may never be a franchise as successful yet weird as Kingdom Hearts ever again, so I find it important to cherish every single game in the series. I have my issues with it, I mean obviously. It was made in cooperation with the creators of Wish and Chicken Little, but Kingdom Hearts is the coolest because I do not tolerate Kingdom Hearts slander in this household. I hope you enjoyed my garbage tier content, and thank you for giving one of my previous videos almost 6,000 views at this point. This may have been a bit less jokey than my other videos, but I hope you guys still enjoy. The point of my videos are still basically just to make jokes, so I don't know, I'm still working this out. I want to improve with every single video I make, but this one might have been a bit different, so we'll see how you like this. But yeah, okay, bye.